Hello, Namaskar, Vanakkam. I hope all of you are doing well. You would have seen our video for students who are planning to pursue the science stream in class 11. This video is for students who wish to pursue the commerce or the humanities stream in class 11. So this is part of our career top series here on Study with Sudhir, and I hope you're all finding it extremely useful. Like and share it with friends and other people who may find it useful as well. So let's get started with the second part of our series for students of class 11, those who want to pursue commerce or humanities. Okay, so are you looking to take commerce or humanities in class 11? And if yes, what is it that you need to bear in mind? Now, let's first understand the format of the commerce stream. We'll do commerce first and then move to arts. Let's look at CBSE. Now, you could choose the combination of subjects depending on your interest and also what your school offers, because in many schools, it can vary. Okay, now there are three compulsory subjects, which is business studies, economics and accounts, plus English, which is a compulsory subject as far as CBSE is concerned. So you have business studies, I repeat, economics and accounts, okay, plus English, which is compulsory, and the fifth optional subject, which could be mathematics, especially if the student is good at the subject. It could be legal studies, if the student is interested in pursuing law. So it depends. It could even be civics. There are some schools which offer you a combination of civics as well. So that again depends, though it's a bit of a strange kind of a combination. Not many CBSE or ISC schools offer this. This happens more. I find this being more prevalent at the state board level. Now, when you come to ISC, let's see how it is different from the CBSE. The main difference, of course, is just like in science, you need to give 6 papers because English is 2 papers, English language and English literature. Whereas in CBSE, it is 1 combined paper. So that is something which you need to bear in mind. Economics, commerce, accountancy are compulsory along with the 2 English papers. The 6th subject is optional, which could be mathematics, it could be business studies, it could be legal studies, it could be computer applications or civics. Again, this is something which is not given in too many ISC schools. Okay, it's more of a state board thing. So this is the structure as far as the CBSE and the ISC are concerned. The third option is, of course, for you to take the state board, and I'll come to the plus and minus of all three. पहले आपको format समझाने की जरूरत है. Find out about the curriculum and the optional subjects which are offered by your state board and that particular college where you are taking admission to. It's in state boards is generally referred to as the junior college. Okay. Now, for students wishing to secure a place in the CA examination, company secretary, or even venture into law, state board is not really seen as a very great option. So आपको इस बात पर ध्यान देने की जरूरत है कि क्या स्टेट बोर्ड करने से आप सीए वगैरह भी क्रैक कर सकते हैं या नहीं. अदरवाइज इफ यू आर अटेंडिंग अ कोचिंग इंस्टीट्यूट विच इज हैविंग अ टाई अप विद अ स्टेट बोर्ड, वो अलग बात है. बट स्टेट बोर्ड में पढ़ के सीए क्रैक करना, आई एम नॉट वेरी श्योर वेदर मेनी एक्सपर्ट्स विल एक्चुअली give you this advice. See, most of this commerce ka thing is based on the advice given, the information provided by counselors. So this is authentic, reliable, trustworthy information that I'm providing to you. Now, also there's another thing that some state boards could be different from others. State board of a particular state could be better than the state board of another state. So us par bhi kafi depend karega. So all state boards are not at the same level. That's another thing which you need to bear in mind. You know, if your friend is doing it from another state and thereby you also decide to do the same thing in your state, that may not really work. Okay, you cannot compare apples with oranges. Okay, now the state board examinations are also comparatively easy as compared to CBSE and ISC. The way the question paper is structured, the way the entire curriculum is structured, it is a little more easy than CBSE or ISC. So that is something which you need to bear in mind. So now let's compare the 2 boards, CBSE and ISC for commerce. Since state board is not something, especially if you are looking to become a chartered accountant kind of a profession. So let's look at CBSE and ISC. The ISC syllabus is there are mainly 4 points that I want to mention out here. The syllabus of both ISC and CBSE, there is not much of a difference. Okay, but ISC is a little more detailed than CBSE. This is the operative word. It's a little more detailed than CBSE. And for students who wish to get into commerce streams at the undergraduate level, that is BCom, honors, etc., ISC prepares you better. It's much more comprehensive. Your knowledge levels are that much more. Okay, but you could look at the glass either half full or half empty. That's entirely up to you, because ISC makes you easy to understand the concepts, whereas CBSE follows the NCRT. So that is something which is followed in most competitive examinations like CUET. So that is something, because BCom honors वगैरह लेने के लिए आपको CUET जाना पड़ेगा if you want admission into a big college in Delhi University kind of thing. Then you will have to take the CUET route. So you need to take that call accordingly. Then, of course, the second point, which is common to both science and commerce, is preparing for English. English 2 papers in ISC, 1 paper in CBSE, no Shakespeare in CBSE, but the level of literature of poetry and prose is as tough as ISC. So that's a call you need to take. There are 6 papers in ISC, whereas it's 5 in CBSE. So 1 paper less English ka. The higher standard of English helps you with language skills in ISC. So those from ISC, it's generally been found they fare better when you go for interviews. The confidence levels, the English speaking ability is much better with an ISC student. I'm not generalizing, but by and large, it's a little better than that of a CBSE. I'm not saying CBSE students are bad, but CBSE, if you compare, say, 10 students of CBSE with 10 students of ISC, you may find a higher percentage of ISC students with better presentation skills, not because of anything else, but basically because their syllabus is structured in such a way that their presentation skills over a period of time get better. That's all. Okay. This is not to say that, CBSE students nahi kar sakte hain and all that. So based on these 4 points, you need to take a call. Now let me come to what happens after class 12. If you do commerce, what is it that you can actually do after that? So what are the options? You can do BCom honors or BCom general or BCom computers, or you could do a Bachelor of Business Administration or Bachelor of Management Studies or International Business, and the options open up because you understand the world of commerce and trade and business by doing any of these 6 odd courses. Okay. You need to take the CUET in order to take admission into most of these colleges. So many state universities give you admission based on your class 12 marks also. Okay. Alternately, you can opt for professional courses. You can do coaching, or you can study yourself, get into chartered accountancy. That's a very long drawn out process. You need to give the first exam, then you need to give the second examination. It's a very, very tough examination. It's not easy to become a chartered accountant in this country or company secretary. There are many such institutes which offer you study, or you can pursue law. So the choice is yours. So take that decision now based on your own individual interest and based on the advice your seniors or your friends, your relatives, or any cousins or your parents give you. See what interests you and accordingly choose your optional subject, choose which board you want to go to, and then you start preparing for, okay, I want to take CUET, go for BCom honors. No, I want to do CA and I want to do this. So your path should be clear to you right now when your class 10 board exams have got over. Okay. Then, of course, the other thing is that CUET, just like in science, the examination follows NCRT. So CBSE gets you an advantage over the other state board or ISC. So as I said, this particular point is very important. So the choice of subject, especially the optional, has to depend on what you want to do after you have passed out of school in class 12. Okay, I hope commerce ka this is clear. Let me now get to the humanities part. Now arts और ह्यूमैनिटीज इज मच मोर कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव देन साइंस और कॉमर्स. एक तो ये पहला फंडा मैं दिमाग से हटा दूं कि जो डफर हैं वो आर्ट्स में आते हैं, ऐसा नहीं है. माय ऑल इंडिया टॉपर 2 years बैक 2022 कनिष्का मित्तल took humanities Lucknow. She has got into the top law college in Delhi. She was all India rank 18th. Okay, no mean feat. So it's not that people who don't do well are the ones who take humanities. Nothing like that at all. Okay, so arts is much more comprehensive because with a humanities background you can actually go into different streams. It actually offers you a large number of professional opportunities. And ऐसा नहीं है कि आजकल इनफैक्ट आजकल इंजीनियर्स को नौकरी नहीं मिलती है कि इंजीनियर्स करोगे, डॉक्टरी करोगे, लॉ करोगे, चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट, इन चारों के अलावा और कुछ नहीं है, ऐसा बिल्कुल नहीं है. There are whole lot of professions in writing, in journalism, in stand-up comedy, in advertising, in public relations, in teaching, in filmmaking. You can get job opportunities in Amazon Prime, in Netflix. There are whole lot of opportunities which open up for you. You can be getting into, if you have an interest in history kind of subject, you can be a historian, you can be into museums, the science of museums. There are a whole lot of opportunities which open up if you are in the humanities arena. Okay, so this myth needs to be bust. And in fact, now what is being seen is that even the tech companies don't want only people with an engineering background. They look for a 360-degree person. Okay, this person has done well in engineering. Is this person also good in any other kind of extracurricular activities? How good he or she is in public speaking? How good is she in communication? Which is why I have been doing those videos which help you with public speaking, which help you with communication, which help you with how to face an interview. Please go and see those videos because you will find them useful, because those are the techniques, because the soft skills. We are too obsessed with examination. Exams will take you till a particular level. Uske baad ka, whether you get a leadership role or whether you just become a manager, depends on how good your communication, your interpersonal and your soft skills are. So focus on developing your soft skills. They will really take you a long way, because everybody's skills being equal, this is what will be the icing on the cake. So please focus on that. So many of these tech companies, I know, they actually look for people with other kind of skills. So, okay, he's an engineer, but I see that he has done some kind of a course, or rather he has got credits for something to do with history, something to do with political science, something to do with geology, something to do with botany, something which is a little different from his domain subject. That's what you need to do. Be a 360-degree person, not a unidimensional, one-dimensional person. Nobody likes cardboard figures. People like well-rounded individuals. And you need to focus on that for your future. See, these videos are not for your exam. These videos are talking about the next 5, the next 10, the next 15 years. And this is the age when you should be like a sponge, absorbing every bit. Okay, don't behave like mujhe to sab malum hai. No, you don't know anything right now. Be a sponge, absorb everything from everywhere. That's how you get better in life. Okay, then which board helps you better? Frankly, both ISC and CBSE are pretty good. Very little to choose between the two, except that the quality of English would be slightly better in ISC, and that will help you with the soft skills to a large extent. Okay. Like for instance, if you want to pursue writing skills in advertising, in copywriting, in journalism, the language, the expression, the communication skills obviously help you that much more. So that is something which you need to bear in mind. Whether you are able to specialize in, even in journalism, for example, you need to specialize that, okay, I have an interest in commerce, I understand finance, so I can look at financial journalism. You don't have to get into political or entertainment. Or I am very interested in movies, I can look at careers in any of the OTT platforms. I can look at careers in production houses. I can look at careers in media which actually look at the cinema, alternate cinema, different kinds of things. And with digital media booming, you have many more options than they were available, let's say 20 to 30 years ago. So the job market has exploded. And that's why I say those with the humanities background have a plethora of choices. Even if you're pursuing law, for instance, in fact, I will do a separate video on law. It's not just like, you have to go and do only civil and criminal cases and appear in court saying, my lord. No, you can do corporate law, you can do environment law, you can do specialize in climate change, even within environmental law. You can do NGO related stuff. So you can do what do you call it, consumer related stuff. So the choices are many as far as even a very conventional field like law is concerned. Now, what is the difference between the two boards? Now, you can call it an advantage or a disadvantage depending on how you choose to look at it. CBSE is more structured because you have NCRT books, pretty much the same like in science and commerce. Whereas in ISE, different schools follow different books. The advantage is that you get to learn much more in ISE. So your approach really matters, whether you want to see the glass as half full or whether you want to see it as half empty. You want to go for design, the humanities field will help you. You want to go in for architecture, the humanities field will help you. So just look at what are the career options you want to look for, and accordingly, choose the subjects, whether you want to take geography, whether you want to take political science, whether you want to take cookery, whether you want to take history. So you need to choose your optional subjects based on what you see as your basic interest and what you see as your career path. So in humanities, sociology, psychology, these are all very interesting subjects which are there. So you need to take that call in a very clinical manner. Okay. Then UPSC, the max, of course, there are a whole lot of IITians and doctors also who clear the UPSC. I have friends who are doctors and then they came to UPSC, cleared UPSC. The Additional Director General of Police of Andhra Pradesh, Dr. Ravi Shankar, with who I share my date of birth, though he's 1 year older than me. He's an MBBS, he's a doctor, though he says I never practiced. The principal secretary in charge of education in Andhra Pradesh, Praveen Prakash, was All India rank 234 in JEE from IIT Kanpur. He passed out and then he cleared the UPSC. So there are engineers, but a large number of people with humanities background also come and clear the UPSC. So that kind of opens the options because they are seen as having more, they understand sociology better. At least that's the impression that many people have when they go in for interviews, etc. for UPSC. So this next 2 years, please don't spend just doing matar gashti ki are isme ja kya padhna hai last ke 2 mahine padh lenge. No, read a lot. And I'm not talking about your textbooks. Read a lot. Think your UPSC preparation, if you're interested in the civil services, has started right now. Okay. वो यूपीएससी का सिर्फ वो 2 साल में नहीं होता है. It's a continuous process. Your reading habit matters a lot. You need to write. You need to start blogging. You need to have your own website. You need to learn to express yourself. You need to read the editorial page in newspapers. You need to have a take on what's happening in the world. You need to be more aware. A humanities student is expected to be much more well-rounded than a commerce or a science student, medical or non-medical stream. So do that, and I'm sure you will emerge successful because of the sheer number of choices that will be available to you once you cross class 12. So your time actually starts right now, and that's what I would want you to focus on. Okay, so thank you very much for your time. I hope you found this useful and you will be able to implement the various things that I told you, both for commerce as well as for the humanities students. Tata, bye-bye. Till the next episode of Career Top here on SWS. See you. God bless you.